If you truly had to define what football was about, non-league would be it. And if you had to define Coalville, the football club would be it too. It's a club at the heart of a mining town rooted deep into northwest Leicestershire. The Ravens, as they're known, are a semi-professional club plying their trade in the Southern Central Premier League, the seventh step in the footballing pyramid. COVID-19 has impacted all clubs, but none more so than those at non-league, who rely on the fans as their main source of income. Coalville Town owner and chairman Glyn Rennocks says it has impacted both the football and the financial side of things surrounding the club.
From a pure football perspective, obviously it curtailed the whole season. In fact, it's now curtailed 2 seasons, which is not good from, as I say, a football perspective. From a financial point of view, again, exactly the same, no income at all, but obviously still you have your regular outgoings for your utilities, that kind of thing. We've been lucky that 2 or 3 of our main sponsors have continued and helped, which is fantastic of them, obviously. And obviously government grants have helped considerably as well. So all in all, we've survived and done well. The football inside is where it hurts more, because both of the last 2 seasons, which have been finished early, we were in good positions. So that's kind of the disappointing side more than anything.
The creation and subsequent fall of the European Super League has left a sour taste in the mouth of every football fan across the country. We're constantly told, and it's absolutely the truth, that football without the fans is nothing. The protests we saw from Chelsea fans first, followed by Liverpool and Manchester City fans, and then the Manchester United fans storming the Old Trafford pitch before their game with Liverpool, said everything you need to know about what the fans thought. Football is for the fans, and it isn't a business. Many were about to give up supporting their clubs if the ESL went ahead, meaning would non-league clubs such as Coalville grow in stature, popularity and fan base?
But from a pure footballing point of view, again, without fans, football's nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. And we were lucky we didn't have to play any games behind closed doors. Our fan base grew dramatically over those 7, 8 games, 12 games with the cup games or so we played. It was tremendous. And we even had to cap it. We were allowed, I think it was a third or 30% of our capacity. So we were allowed 600, which we hit the first time. And then because of the social distancing and the COVID rules and regulations, we had to put limits. We dropped it to 500 for the next game and then had to drop it to 400, just so that we could try and make sure people socially distanced where we could and the spacings were right. So we were fortunate. We actually gained from it. But, as I say, football's nothing without fans, and you watch the Premiership on TV and it's just dead. They're like practice matches for me. I've lost a little bit of interest, to be honest with you. Yeah, but I don't think that will be the masses for sure. I can give you a little story of 10 years ago, actually. We put a video out for the semi-final the other day, and I think we put in another one out for the final, which was made 10 years this month. And that was the FA Vars final we got to. And my house became a ticket office for like the month before. We've got that. Our kitchen was just tickets, piles of tickets, and people coming and knocking on the door at any time of the day and night buying tickets, which was brilliant, great experience. And the amount of people who followed us to Wembley, and the amount of people who spoke to me saying, I've been going to Leicester, I've been going to Fulham, I've been to for years, but this is brilliant. I'm not going back there. I'm going to, this is my football now. I'm going to stay. And I bet if there were a handful of people who ever stayed with us, that was it. The rest of it, they go back, and I've got no issues with that, because their main team, in our case, Leicester, Leicestershire people, they follow Leicester. And I know a lot of people who are big Leicester supporters who do follow us, but they follow us more on social media, and the occasional game, if Leicester are playing, they'll always go there. And again, I've got no problem. I respect that. So I personally think whilst they can't get to the Premiership games, or whilst it's limited, we will benefit. But I think in the long run, we won't benefit much. I hope I'm wrong on that. And even if we kept, let's say our average was 250 before, and we doubled that to 500. Well, if we could keep 50, 60, 70 of those people and average 300, 350, then that would be great anyway. I'd be more than happy.
Every club would be proud from where they come from, and what they've been through, and Coalville are no different. They've played at Wembley in the FA Vars final, and this year is the 10th anniversary of that, so much celebrations going on there. Looking ahead to the future, Glyn is excited both short and long term, not only just to have the fans back at the Manda Cruikshank Solicitors Stadium, but to get the players back on the pitch and challenge for that promotion they've been so close to getting the last 2 years.
To be successful, and that's both short term and long term, always has been. I've never been one to say, yes, we have ambitions, we have aims, and our aim, and I got asked this question, I always remember some years ago, BBC Radio Leicester asked me the question about, and we were still, I think we'd either gone from the Senior League into the Midland Alliance, or we were just in the Midland Alliance, and we'd grown quite rapidly over a few seasons. And it said, how far can you go? And I said, well, who really knows? Because, you've got to keep aiming, you've got to keep growing, and you've got to be ambitious and want to keep growing.
So after 2 null and voided seasons of football, Coalville Town will be back on the pitch in front of a packed out crowd come September, looking to pick up where they left off and get that promotion that they well deserve.